In our interconnected world, businesses no longer operate in a vacuum. Their actions ripple outwards, touching communities, economies, and the environment. This growing awareness has given rise to the concept of social responsibility, a powerful idea that organizations have a duty to act ethically and contribute to sustainable development. But how does an organization navigate this complex terrain? The answer lies in a groundbreaking international standard, ISO 26000. This is not a standard for certification. Instead, it is a guidance document. It provides a comprehensive framework to help organizations understand and integrate social responsibility into their very core. Its purpose is to offer a global consensus on what social responsibility means and what actions organizations need to take to operate in a socially responsible manner. ISO 26000 was developed through a multi-stakeholder process. Experts from over 90 countries and 40 international organizations came together. This diverse group included representatives from industry, government, labor, consumers, and non-governmental organizations. The result is a robust and universally applicable guide. It is designed to be relevant for all types of organizations, regardless of their size, location, or sector. It helps them move beyond simple compliance with the law. It encourages them to consider the broader impacts of their decisions and activities on society and the environment. This standard is a tool for transformation, pushing organizations toward a more conscientious and sustainable way of doing business in the 21st century. The standard's fundamental goal is to clarify the principles and practices of social responsibility. It seeks to translate a noble concept into tangible actions. For a small local business or a massive multinational corporation, ISO 26000 provides a common language and a structured approach. It helps organizations identify their key stakeholders, those individuals or groups who are affected by their operations. It then guides them in engaging with these stakeholders to understand their concerns and expectations. By doing so, organizations can align their strategies with the values of the communities they serve and the planet they inhabit, fostering a new kind of capitalism that is both profitable and principled. Ultimately, ISO 26000 serves as a moral and practical compass. It guides organizations on a journey toward what is often called the triple bottom line: people, planet, and profit. It emphasizes that long-term success is not measured solely by financial returns. True success is built on a foundation of ethical conduct, environmental stewardship, and positive social impact. The standard does not impose requirements but offers recommendations, promoting a voluntary commitment to improvement. It empowers organizations to define their own path to social responsibility, encouraging a culture of continuous learning and adaptation. In this way, it helps build a global community of organizations dedicated to creating a more sustainable and equitable world for all. At the heart of ISO 26000 lie 7 core principles. These principles are the foundational pillars upon which all socially responsible behavior is built. The first is accountability. This means an organization must be answerable for its impacts on society, the economy, and the environment. It cannot simply ignore the consequences of its decisions. It must actively scrutinize its own actions and be prepared to respond to that scrutiny from stakeholders and the public. Accountability ensures that responsibility is not an abstract idea, but a concrete practice, where organizations take ownership of both their successes and their failures in the social and environmental spheres. The second principle is transparency. This is closely linked to accountability. Transparency requires an organization to be open and clear about its decisions and activities, especially when they affect others. This involves disclosing information in a timely, factual, and accessible manner. It means not hiding behind complex jargon or concealing negative impacts. When an organization is transparent, it allows its stakeholders to make informed judgments and hold it accountable. This openness builds trust, which is the bedrock of any healthy relationship, whether with customers, employees, or the wider community. It turns the corporate structure from an opaque box into a glass house. Ethical behavior and respect are also central to the standard. Ethical behavior is the third principle, demanding that an organization's conduct is based on the values of honesty, equity, and integrity. This goes beyond legal compliance. It is about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. The fourth principle, respect for stakeholder interests, requires organizations to identify, acknowledge, and consider the needs and concerns of all their stakeholders. This includes employees, suppliers, customers, and the local community. It means actively listening to their perspectives and integrating their interests into the decision-making process, ensuring that the pursuit of profit does not come at the expense of people. Finally, the framework is grounded in a deep respect for established rules and rights. The fifth principle is respect for the rule of law, which is the absolute minimum standard. Organizations must know and comply with all applicable laws and regulations. The sixth principle, respect for international norms of behavior, encourages them to adhere to global standards of conduct, especially in places where local laws are weak or non-existent. The seventh and most crucial principle is respect for human rights. Organizations are urged to recognize the importance and universality of human rights and to ensure they protect these rights within their sphere of influence, creating a workplace and supply chain free from exploitation. ISO 26000 translates its principles into practice through 6 core subjects. These subjects represent the key areas where an organization's social responsibility is most relevant. The first is human rights. This subject area calls on organizations to actively prevent human rights abuses within their operations and supply chains. It involves conducting due diligence to identify risks, such as forced labor or discrimination, and taking steps to remediate any adverse impacts. It is about ensuring that every individual connected to the organization is treated with dignity and respect, upholding fundamental rights as defined by international declarations. This is the moral foundation of a responsible enterprise. The second core subject is labor practices. This covers all policies and practices relating to work performed on behalf of the organization, including by its own employees and subcontracted workers. It emphasizes fair wages, safe working conditions, reasonable working hours, and the right to freedom of association and collective bargaining. Socially responsible labor practices also involve investing in training and development, promoting diversity and equal opportunity, and fostering a positive work environment. By treating its workforce ethically, an organization not only fulfills a moral obligation, but also builds a more motivated, productive, and loyal team. It recognizes that human capital is its most valuable asset. Environmental stewardship is the third core subject. The environment is a silent stakeholder that requires a loud voice. This area guides organizations to adopt a precautionary approach to environmental challenges, reduce their carbon footprint, and promote greater environmental responsibility. It covers issues like pollution prevention, sustainable resource use, climate change mitigation, and the protection of biodiversity and natural habitats. The goal is to minimize the organization's negative environmental impact and, where possible, to contribute to environmental restoration. This is about operating within the planet's ecological limits, ensuring that business activities today do not compromise the well-being of future generations. The final 3 subjects address the organization's interactions with the wider world. Fair operating practices concern ethical conduct in dealings with other organizations, including suppliers, competitors, and government agencies. This means fighting corruption, promoting fair competition, and respecting property rights. Consumer issues focus on providing fair marketing, factual information, and effective dispute resolution, as well as protecting consumer health and safety. The last subject, community involvement and development, encourages organizations to be good corporate citizens. This involves contributing to the social and economic development of the communities in which they operate through philanthropy, volunteering, and creating local employment. One of the most powerful aspects of ISO 26000 is its universal applicability. This is not a standard reserved for large, wealthy corporations in developed nations. It is intentionally designed to be useful for any organization, of any size, in any sector, anywhere in the world. A small nonprofit, a local government agency, a family-owned farm, or a global technology giant can all use its guidance to improve their social performance. The standard's flexibility allows each organization to identify the issues and principles most relevant to its specific context and stakeholders. It provides a common framework, but encourages a tailored approach, making social responsibility accessible to all. The benefits of embracing ISO 26000 are profound and extend far beyond simple altruism. Adopting its principles can significantly enhance an organization's reputation and build a deep reservoir of trust with customers, employees, and investors. In an age of social media and instant information, transparency and ethical behavior are more visible and more valuable than ever. Organizations that demonstrate a genuine commitment to social responsibility are more likely to attract and retain top talent, as today's workforce increasingly seeks employers whose values align with their own. This can create a powerful competitive advantage in the marketplace. Furthermore, integrating social responsibility can lead to tangible financial gains. By focusing on resource efficiency and waste reduction, organizations can lower their operational costs. Proactively managing social and environmental risks can prevent costly legal battles, regulatory fines, and reputational damage. Stronger relationships with suppliers and communities can lead to more stable and resilient supply chains. In essence, social responsibility is not a cost center, it is a strategic investment in long-term sustainability and profitability. It aligns the organization's success with the well-being of society, creating a virtuous cycle of shared value. In conclusion, ISO 26000 is more than just a document. It is a catalyst for positive change. It provides a clear and comprehensive roadmap for organizations to navigate the complexities of the 21st century business landscape. By embracing its principles and core subjects, organizations can move beyond a narrow focus on profit and embrace a broader, more holistic vision of success. They can build stronger relationships, foster innovation, and enhance their resilience. Ultimately, the widespread adoption of ISO 26000 has the power to reshape our global economy, fostering a world where organizations act as engines of sustainable development and contribute to a more just, equitable, and prosperous future for everyone.